What's up, guys? I'm just inserting this clip in really quick to let you know, before we head into Anor, Londo, I totally forgot to point it out, make sure you come back here and head off onto the left hand side to where Yuria is, and make sure you exhaust all of her dialogue. We want to make sure that you go to the talk option and have her point out that your spouse is ready. You might have to do it twice. She could say that if you know of Anri first, and then talk to her a second time, and then she'll say, thy spouse is ready, da 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 da. So make sure you exhaust all of her dialogue before we head into Anor Londo. That way you don't have to come back and do it. It'll be ready to go, because there is an important part in Anor Londo that depends on that. Alright, now on to the main part of the walkthrough. Hey, what's up? Welcome back to the efficient walkthrough. On this part, we're going to be taking on Anor Londo, making our way to Aldrich. And to start off, you're going to want to come over to the Pontiff Sullivan bonfire, which is part of Irithyll the Boreal Valley, where we obviously fought Pontiff Sullivan. And before we move on, if you are following the walkthrough, the last place we were at was Archdragon Peak. And if you made it up to the top of the ledge in the back area and did the gesture to get the Dragonstone, you can go to Firelink Shrine and talk to Andre the Blacksmith, and he will give you a Hawkwood Swordgrass, which is a message that Hawkwood's left for you. It basically just says to come to the Mausoleum in Farron, which is where you fought the Abyss Watchers, where he wants to duel you and winner take all. He has a Dragonstone as well, so if you lose, he'll take yours, but if you win, you get his. You do get as many chances as you want to fight him. If you lose and he takes yours, you can keep trying to fight him, and if you win, you get them both. So we will be going to do that just a little bit later. Alright, so first things first, we're going to head out the back door and off to the right hand side where there should be an item right around the edge here. And we got 2 crystal lizards up ahead. So let's see if we can get both of them. There we go. Not bad. If you do have trouble with these, if you kill one and the other one disappears, you can just stand right here, go to your options, quit game, and go to the menu screen, and then just come right back with continue, and it'll reload the area, and the crystal lizard will be right back right where it's originally supposed to be. And when you reappear, you can instantly just start attacking it. So one thing about this area, there is a covenant in Anor Londo. It mostly happens in the lower area, not so much when we go up the tower, but it's a covenant that is just like the one in Road of Sacrifices, to where trespassers will be invaded. This covenant is called, is it Aldrich? It's Aldrich Faithful. Aldrich's Faithful. And yeah. So if someone's wearing that covenant and you come in here embered, they automatically get summoned to come and kill you. You can get up to 2 of them at a time, and then you can also get invaded by a red phantom as well, so you can potentially get invaded by 3 people at once, regardless of how many people you have summoned, or if you've even used a dried finger. So just a heads up on that. If you do get 2 of them, that invade you, and if you kill both of them, I believe there's a little bit of a cooldown period. So if you can beat the two, you can pretty much finish out the level within a reasonable amount of time without worrying about getting invaded again. If you do die and come back, I believe it just restarts it. So alright, so moving on, we're gonna just head up the steps and down to the right. There's two NPCs up ahead that we have to fight. They both use dark damage, but we're gonna make a loop. Okay, so we're gonna head in through the archways there to underneath the walkway. But before we head in there, we'll do a quick little loop around here in the courtyard and try and pick up everything we can. And then we'll go up and in through a doorway into the upper part of Pontiff Sullivan's boss area. So we'll start out by the right. We're going to get fireballs shot at us, so we'll try and dodge those as best we can. There's a large Titanite shard right by here, this first tree. We run in between the giants and grab an ember. Another ember. Just gonna make this as quick as we can. I believe this should be the last thing here, a soul. Alright, so now we're gonna head in through the archway and hang a right. There's gonna be a group of invisible slaves, but we should be able to run past them and grab the dark stone plate ring, which is another one of the rings that's just a different color than the other ones. All the stone plate rings give you higher damage absorption for the coordinating color. Purple is dark damage. Head up the stairs, take our right, watch out for fireballs. And over on the ledge we'll grab, I believe it's another large Titanite shard. Yes indeed. Then head back and we'll go in the doorway to the left. And we do get access to a bonfire once we're inside here, so don't have to worry about healing too much from the fireball spam. Alright. So let's go up the stairs first. Doesn't really matter which order you do this in, we're just gonna go all around the area. If you're in New Game Plus, there is a ring here. But at the end of this walkway is a mimic chest. Oh, I got the binoculars in there. Just taking some screenshots earlier. Now, in this mimic chest is a catalyst, like a weapon that I believe does it do miracles and sorceries or something? Sorceries cast using this weapon channel the wielder's faith. Okay, so it just does sorceries, but it scales with faith, and it is a spear weapon as well. So back across the steps, and then off to the right hand side, we should encounter a crystal lizard that has a simple gem drop. Let our stamina regen and then head over. Yeah, that didn't work out very well. There we go. And those two things are the only things up here during a regular New Game. If you get into New Game Plus, there is a Ring of Favor +1 here. So you can activate this elevator. And we're back down in the boss room for Pontiff Sullivan. We'll hit the bonfire, regen all our health, and we'll head back up the elevator and back out the doorway, and we'll take out all the fucking deacons that have been shooting fireballs at us. Where the hell did the elevator go? I'm fucking blind. There it is. They're pretty easy to kill, except for the big fat one. You just gotta watch out for the The infinite ranged spammy fireball. I don't know how they get so much range out of it. So these guys can drop the Aldrich the Faithful Covenant item. They can also drop their deacon robes and skirts, and they also drop dark gems. Dark gems or deep gems, right? The ones that don't scale. Yeah, deep gems. They do not drop dark gems. They drop deep gems. There it is right there. I already got one. Which adds dark elemental damage to a weapon that does not scale. It's kind of like a raw gem, I suppose. Just with split damage. Ah, you hear that noise? One of the NPCs is gonna come up here. So there's two NPCs that try and fight you at the same time. One of them has twin spears, and the other one has the twin hammers, the Drang twin hammers that we got from Cathedral of the Deep. And they both use dark infusion on them, so... or a dark buff, excuse me. Neither one is really that hard, but together they can be a pain in the ass. So if you can separate them, that is ideal. And then for the one that has the spears, you get the Drang twin spears, but since we already have the hammers, this guy doesn't drop anything, so yeah, I don't think I could have blocked that. Hey, check it out. He used an actual combo. Alright, maybe I should quit trying to parry him. I am not that good at parrying. There you go. So I was saying, there's a lot of snow on the ground, which actually makes it hard to see if you get an item drop from the deacons. I mean, not impossible to see, but it does make it a little more difficult to see if you get a drop. Alright, so from there shouldn't be anything else down here in the courtyard area, so we're going to continue our way up. And on the left corner wall here, we do have a secret passage that leads down, and that's where you can join the Aldrich the Faithful. Let's go grab the, there's another Titanite, I believe, scale right up the stairs here. So let's grab that, and then we'll head down in there. Yeah, right here overlooking the courtyard. Alright, so the fight that's coming up. So when we go through the illusionary wall and down the elevator, there's going to be two of those alligator slash rat beasts from the beginning of Irithyll. You can take them on one at a time as long as you're careful. So you have to kill both of them. They do not respawn. You can kill one and then die and come back, and whichever one you killed will not respawn at all, no matter what. So yeah, so we have to beat both of them, and when you do, you automatically get the Ring of Favor, which is a very good ring, and then you can go join the Aldrich the Faithful Covenant, and a bonfire will manifest in this area as well after you kill them. So alright, so let's do this. I'm gonna put a bow on to get the one on the right's attention. So we got one over here, and then another one to our left over there. So as long as we stay in this little area and try not to go out past the walls, we should not aggro the one on the left. We're going to bring the right one close to us and take it on one-on-one, and then we'll deal with the left one. I'm going to shoot it with an arrow, and it'll come charging this direction. It always charges and then jumps and kind of slides in towards us. If you stand in the right spot, probably right about where I'm at here in the middle. It'll run up and slide, and it'll stop before it hits us. It doesn't ever change where it jumps and slides, so as long as you stand in the right spot, you can get a few free hits in on its head, which is its vulnerable spot. So you get the hits in on the head. Actually, I want to eat some grass first. And you're more likely to get a chance to repost it. And if you get the repost in, it's pretty much automatic death for the thing. So, alright, let's do this. Ah, I was way too far away. Oh shit, lightning. Oh shit, I just heard the other one aggro. Alright, oh, never mind, I guess not. I don't know what I heard. There we go. Okay, one down. Oh shit, here comes the other one. What? One more hit. There we go. I got the Ring of Favor. I mean, these guys are pretty hard. Okay, so human drags. I just picked up a human drag. That's the Covenant item for Aldrich the Faithful, which is if you don't want to do the Covenant and you do want the items, you can farm the deacons upstairs for that. But back to what I was saying about these alligator rat things. They are hard, but as long as you're adequately leveled and your weapons are upgraded, like, you won't have that bad of a time with them. From the way I started out, I thought I was going to get wrecked there for a second, but I actually didn't have that hard of a time to come back and finish both of them. So, alright, so we're gonna sit at the bonfire. It will bring the deacons back. The two NPCs that we fought do not respawn though. They stay dead. So we're gonna pray to the dead fat preacher and join the Covenant, and that's it. And also, if you join the Covenant and you wear the Covenant symbol, you cannot be invaded by other Covenant members. But it is a very active Covenant. So if you're wearing it, be prepared to be summoned, because you'll be heading off to fight people that trespass in the area. I mean, with that said, this the area that we just went through, like the courtyard and this and everything, this is a very, very popular spot for PvP, and it's a very popular spot for gang squads and invasions and everything. Prior to the online PvP that From Software added in with the DLCs, this is where you would come at the very beginning, right past Pontiff's room, to summon people and just PvP for fun. So, alright, so now that we're up and out of that area, so there's going to be Silver Knights up ahead. They have great bows, and they're going to be shooting giant arrows at us. So we're going to take this very carefully. In fact, let's put on the Slumbering Dragon Crest Ring. That will make us silent. We should be able to sneak by and pass the Silver Knights with ease. Unfortunately, not the very first one. So we're going to take the far end walkway up, not the middle, but the one on the end. So let's roll on down. And there's an item on the bottom right hand side. We're gonna run to the middle and hide on the right hand side of the pillar. You can see we're getting shot at from the left already. He usually shoots about 3 and then gives up. So that was 3 altogether, 1 as we're running up, and then 2 after we stopped. There's a Silver Knight right on the other side of this pillar. So I'm going to go over there, since I'm wearing a Silent Ring, and backstab him and kick him off. And then run, and then go right down the stairs. And around on down the stairs we get the Easterner's Ashes, which give to the handmaid. We can now purchase large Titanite shards. You can also, it also unlocks the Easterner armor and the washing pole. If you don't know what the washing pole is, it's from Dark Souls 1. It is a extremely long sword. A katana, extremely long katana sword. Causes bleed damage. It's really good. It's freaking awesome. Alright, so we're silent. So we're just going to run up behind these guys and backstab them. You should be able to do it all the way down the line. And you don't have to backstab them. You can kill them or just run by them and leave them. In fact, I'm going to kill this one. See if I can get any items to drop. 2 Titanite shards. The Silver Knights will drop regular Titanite shards, large Titanite shards. Their armor, they do not drop their weapons at all. I believe you can get the bow off the ones that are holding the bows. But other than that, they also drop Proof of a Concord Kept, which is the Covenant item for the Blue Sentinel Dark Moon guys that help people that have been invaded. Oh, I thought I was out of the range there. And those Proofs of Concord Keps are very highly sought after Covenant items. They're pretty hard to get, and the rewards you get through the Covenant are probably the best. 10, you get a ring that gives you 2 extra attunement slots, and 30, you get Dark Moon Blade, which is probably the best buff in the game. And it's also a faith spell, a miracle. So just a heads up on that. And we will come up to a better place to farm for that if you're interested. So, alright, so continuing on, staying silent. We're going to hop down the ledge and come up on this guy and take him out. I did not backstab him because I was trying to avoid alerting the one with the bow. Alright, got some silver leggings. And then we'll continue in, well, how about this? Before we continue on, let's grab everything out of the area. So let's go down the walkway, and I believe there's an item to the left side here. Large Titanite shard, and there's also a shortcut you can open. I rarely ever use this shortcut. I don't know. It doesn't seem all that great, but, you know, to each their own. So we'll get it opened up. So just slide down the ladder, open up the door, and we're back to where the Deacons of the Deep are. Alright. Now we're gonna have to kind of do a little bit of backtracking to get everything. There's a bow and some arrows right down below us, so we'll drop down for those. You get the Dragon Slayer Great Bow as well as the Dragon Slayer Great Arrows, which were probably the better of the Great Bows until the Millwood Great Bow came around. So the Millwood arrows and bow are probably the best as far as the the great bow, I don't know. As far as large bows go, they're the better ones. Alright, so loop around, make our way back through. probably just head up the middle this time since we got the Silver Knights out of the way. And I just want to double check. I'm pretty... Yeah, there's nothing here. Okay. Check this one too. And nothing. And at this point, you don't have to keep the ring on to be silent anymore. We're done with that. So, and as long as you talk to Yuria before coming into Anor Londo, we should be ready to commence with the wedding with Anri. So to the right hand side is an open door. If you're not following the Londor ending or you haven't talked to Yuria about the wedding yet, there will be a wall here that is an illusionary wall that you can open up. And
welcome. Your spout, please. Ray.
So to commence the wedding, talk to him. Grab the sword of avowal, a ceremonial item for the wedding. And this will be here no matter what. The brass armor set off to the side. And it is a pretty good armor set. And then straight ahead in this gigantic room, there's one single chest off to the right hand side. Go all the way in between the walls. Safe chest, not a mimic. And you get the reversal ring, which switches your character's sexual identity. I've never had to use it. I'm not really clear on how it works, but if you go into Rosaria and change your character sex, you put this ring on to complete this part. That way you still match up with Anri the correct way, I guess. I'm not sure, but yeah. So to complete the marriage of kidnapped Anri that is just laying here. Let's get a look at this. So Anri is just laying here. We got the helmet off. We got some leaves or some herbs laid out. There's like a drape over his face. His fingers are interlaced. He looks nice and peaceful. I don't know if he's drugged or what. I don't think he's dead, even though he's not breathing. His armor is moving with the air in the area, though. All right. So regardless, to commence the wedding, you push X at the right of avowal, and you are going to absorb his dark sign to increase yours to 8. And this is a must-do thing to get the Londor ending. This is kind of like the big final step for the ending. If you skip this or don't do this, you're not getting it. Alright, we get 3 more dark sigils. And Anri is definitely dead now. Or at least that's what it appears to be. Alright, and that's how weddings go in Dark Souls. Happily ever after. Alright, so we're gonna turn around and head back out of here. The pilgrim will be dead for some reason. I don't know if it commits suicide or what, or just it fulfilled its destiny, so it died. But whatever. We pick up the chameleon spell from it. And now we're going to head out the other door on the left-hand side. And the walkway's blocked off, so hit the switch. pick up the item, get an ember, and now we're gonna head up the tower to a more familiar Anor Londo. Nothing down here, so go straight up the stairs. And then hit the switch one time. And we're gonna run around to the other side. There we go. And this walkway should line up. And let's start up the bonfire on the right. Straight ahead, we're going to get 2 silver knights coming down the stairs. The first one that comes down is going to be a spear silver knight, and the second one will be a straight sword. They are separated a little bit, so we get a chance to deal with them. Alright, let's do this one more time because I'm going to talk about a strategy really quick. And this is the area for farming the Silver Knights, for farming the Proofs of Concord kept. This area right here. So what you want to do is go up the stairs just a little bit to trigger the first Silver Knight. Let's pop a coin. He 90% of the time starts the fight out with his charge. So we're going to wait for him to do his charge and then dodge towards him and backstab him. And then just do a charged R2 or spam some R1s at that point. And this guy will come up. He usually always does the lightning jump attack. Like that. And if you have a really heavy weapon, you can usually hit him and stagger him out of it. But if you have a lighter weapon, it takes 2 hits to stagger it out. So you can let him do it. He usually does it twice. Oh, wow, 3 times. And then get a backstab in on him. But he usually only does it twice. I guess sometimes 3, so. And I mean, while he's doing like the leap and slam, just stay targeted on him and just keep walking around to the right of him. Just do like a circle around him and he'll miss pretty much every time as long as you do it correctly. To the right hand side we'll come to a dead end, but we also get another Silver Knight with red eyes. That means he's going to be a little bit stronger because he's been touched by the abyss. Alright. I want him to do the lightning thing. There we go. One more. Ah. I want to prove my theory that I just said. Or my strategy, I guess. It's not a theory. Yeah, it's just... You see how I just kept circling around him and he just kept missing? I mean, you can do that with a lot of enemies in the game. You just keep circling them and they'll just keep missing, so... Alright, down on the platform we have some souls. If you're New Game Plus, it'll be a bigger set of souls. And that's it for the right hand side. That door is closed. It cannot be opened. Let's continue to the left side because we cannot open the front doors either. We need to go inside and use a switch. Don't miss any of the other items on the way over. There's nothing down on the lower platform of this area. So we're going to head inside where we'll see an old friend that has seen better days. Pick up the giant's coal from him, and that should complete all the coals for Andre. This will give you the last few infusions that you need, which include the chaos infusion and I believe lightning infusion. I think we can already do dark infusions, so but definitely it's chaos and lightning. Alright, Now we're up at the top of Anor Londo. You cannot break the glass. There's no hidden rooms or anything here. We're gonna go straight down. We got 3 Deacons of the Deep at the end of this stairway. So let's watch out for their fireballs as we go down. And just kill them as best you can. And if you remember correctly, we do get 1 proof of Concord Kep at the Boreal of Irithyll of the Boreal Valley. When we seen Anri standing by the bonfire in the room at the second bonfire of the area, we got 1. So this will be the second one we pick up right here. So we get 2 per playthrough. Without doing any of the Covenant things. Alright, so there's a few more Deacons scattered around, and there's slimes on the floor as well as on the ceiling. Across the way on the stairs is some moonlight arrows. There are arrows that are specifically use magic damage. And closer to the door on the ceiling is going to be another one of those spider creatures that spew out the mist that causes curse. We ran into one in Cathedral of the Deep. But before we go over there, there is a chest right down below us here. I'm going to take care of this slime and then drop down. We get an Estus shard, which should bring our usage of the flask to 14 at this point. Let's run across and we'll grab those moonlight arrows. We don't need to worry about the Deacons right now. We're not going into the boss room yet. Grab the moonlight arrows, drop off the edge, and run straight along the wall to the switch to open the door. You can cheese this guy by standing up on the stairs and like shooting him with arrows, but I have a better way. So get the doors open and run out the doors. Let him follow you. He's gonna follow us all the way down. Come on, buddy. There we go. And we're going to tame him and make him our pet. There we go. So bring him all the way down to the end until he stops. And when you get him all the way down here, he gets confused and doesn't know what to do and will not attack you anymore. He is now our pet. Go ahead and give him a big kiss and a hug. There we go. Alright. So now that he's down here and doesn't know what to do, we're going to kill him. And after killing him, you get another ring. You get Aldrich's Ruby, which does you recover HP from critical attacks. Not a ring I really use, but hey, whatever. Okay, so that's everything out of this area for now. We are going to go fight Aldrich, but we have one more thing we need to do before we go deal with Aldrich. Screw the bonfire. We don't need to sit at it for now. We're going to put the tower back at its starting place down below. And we're going to go off to the other side and officially join the Dark Moon Blade Knights. Or Knights of the Dark Moon Blade, or whatever. Alright, so off this way, you can see the tower right over there. The walkway looks like it is non-existent, but it's just invisible. So walk straight out onto it. And you can't fall off. It's guarded by rails, they're just invisible. And then we're gonna drop on down to this tower, light up the bonfire. This is where you bring your proofs of Concord keps and you give them to her to and she'll give you the covenant items if you get enough.
Name thyself, stranger.
But first we need to join the covenant officially.
Captain of the Dark Moon Knights. What beckoned thee to such a place? Thou thinkst too. Very well. Captain to this knightless company I remain. I will grant thee purpose.
She's a pretty big, pivotal character.
Hear my voice.
In this story, if you do follow the lore.
If thou shalt swear by the covenant to become a shadow of Father Gwyn and Sister Guinevere, a blade
notice
that shall
her
hunt
tail
the foes of our lords.
And the scales on her skin, if we can see them.
Of the Dark Moon. Thou art now a blade of the Dark Moon.
All right.
The only swear.
Now it's official. Equip this item in your covenant slot, and you will help people that are being invaded. You could prior do it with the Blue Sentinels one, but you don't really get any reward when you do help them. So put on the Blade of the Dark Moon, help some people out that are being invaded, and get some covenant items. A lot of fun. Nothing to really lose with that covenant, honestly. If you die, you don't lose anything. So alright, so that concludes that. Alright. Now, if you want to get everything in this playthrough, at least that we can with the storylines that we're following, after joining her, make sure that you join the Covenant first. You can kill her and get a Miracle Catalyst, and it is the highest, it has S scaling and faith. So it's pretty much the best one that you can get if your faith is above 40. And I don't foresee myself needing to give her 10 Covenant items anytime soon, at least not until New Game Plus. If you kill her to get it, she will come back in New Game Plus. She won't be mad at you or anything. You can start fresh with her, and in New Game Plus you'll still belong to the Blade of the Dark Moon as well. You don't have to rejoin. So if you want the
Dear brother, forgive me.
If you want Yorshka's chime, that's how you get it. And I promise it's a very good chime. It has A scaling right now, and when you upgrade it, it improves to S scaling. You can't even use it until you have 30 faith. It is very good. But you're gonna feel guilty. I feel guilty right now for killing her. But whatever. She'll come back. She'll be fine. She's a trooper. All right. Now, from there, into the tower. We're going to drop down all the way to the bottom and collect a few items on the way. At the very entrance of the doorway, down on the left, drop to the next platform down. And then there's an item right below here. So we're going to drop down to that. And it's a Painting Guardian's curved sword. It is a very short curved sword. And then drop down to the middle. And then to the side where you see another item, which is the Painting Guardian armor set. And the Painting Guardian is from Anor, Londo, and Dark Souls 1. If you do have trouble dropping down onto beams in this game, pretty much just put the camera directly above your head and line your head up with the beam that you want to drop onto, and then just walk slowly off and you'll land directly on it. Alright, from this one you kind of have to go to the side a little bit. You can go to either side, and you have to drop down to the beam. And then walk back up the beam just a little bit and drop down to the next beam. And then you're good and clear to drop down onto the decking and to the ground. And now we're back at a very familiar place. And you can kind of see why the first Proof of Concord Kept is here. Now I wonder whose coffin this is. Now that I think about it, I really wonder what's going on right here. That's obviously important. Okay. So from this bonfire, let's head back to Firelink Shrine. I'm going to use that Estus shard and use and give my items to the handmaid and whatnot, and then I'm going to head over to the Anor Londo bonfire, which is this one, where the upper part of Anor Londo, where you would farm the Silver Knights on the stairs. And from there, we'll go straight back into Aldrich's room and take on the boss. But I would suggest getting prepared at Firelink Shrine really quick first. And Aldrich uses magic damage, a little bit of physical, and a little bit of fire. And a touch of dark as well. But he does heavily use magic damage, so heads up on that. Alright, be right back. Alright. So I also changed my armor to make myself a little more resistant to magic. And I got some blue bug pellets in my quick menu. And I also changed my weapon to the Dragon Slayer axe. It seems like the lightning does pretty good against Aldrich, so I'm going to use it. And I got some gold pine resin in my quick menu as well. So we want to get up to Aldrich without taking any damage. We could either fight the knights, the Silver Knights, or we could just run right past them. I'm gonna vote for just run right past them. So let's just run up ahead. We're gonna wait for this one to charge and then we'll go for it. Alright. Just run straight ahead. When you get in through the doors, go off to the right. And we're gonna run along the right hand side of the pillars. This should lose the Silver Knight as well as avoid any fireballs. And then we'll stop right up against the wall right here and get fucking hit by a goddamn fireball. That annoys the shit out of me. Alright. Let's see if we can take care of these guys. I'm going to stand on the right side of the room because those other deacons on the stairs are shooting fireballs as well. Alright. So my health is regenning a little bit. I don't want to waste too much time, so... Alright, we'll go up to the fog door, eat some grass, put the lightning blade on. Now, Aldrich is actually kind of difficult. When we first get into the room, we're going to run straight back to him and just start attacking him until he disappears into the ground, and then he'll reappear and do one of several attacks. You basically have to run... from side to side in the room. There's a lot of stamina management going on here, since he will reappear, and you can hit him anywhere. You can attack him on the back of his tail. There we go. And he should reappear in the right hand corner or the left. He has the magic orbs that home in on you, a physical attack. He has one attack that shoots arrows up into the ceiling, and then arrows will rain down on you and follow you around the room. That is the attack you want to be careful of. You can also take damage from the dark aura that he has around him before he goes in. Alright, so here's the arrows. We're gonna run away and just keep running. He's actually a pretty cheap boss. Another way to deal with those arrows is to, the moment he shoots it, to get behind him, and they'll lose track of you. But it's hard to do, so just be wary of doing it. If it doesn't work, you can die extremely fast to them. So basically, keep moving as much as you can while you're fighting him. And this should be the last Lord of Cinder until we get to the Twin Princes. So you automatically get summoned into the dancer's room, where you would normally fight her, but we already killed her early, so we'll just go into the room and it'll already be done.
Please save his soul.
So if we wouldn't have taken on the dancer early, the lady that was here, I think it's Emma. I think her name's Emma, would be laying in this I guess splatter of blood all around, and she'd be dead at this point. So, but we killed her early and initiated the fight and already took care of the dancer, so we're good. So at this point, sit down at the fire, and we're gonna warp directly back to Aldrich. Aldrich, Devourer of Gods. Alright, so now the bonfire is already active. You don't have to light it. The elevators are active as well. There's one on each side of this area. So take the elevator up. And there's nothing down the hallways here, so just go straight up to the middle. And in the room, which hopefully looks familiar too, if not, this is from Dark Souls 1. And we get the Sun Princess ring, which is a ring that rejuvenates your HP. Gradually restores HP. Comes in pretty handy. If you do New Game Plus, it's really good to wear when you're going through the Fahrenkeep Poison Swamp. And that concludes Anor Londo. If you are doing the Hollow Londor ending of the game, and you put the sword in Anri's face earlier to collect the dark sigils from him, his armor set will be available at the Shrine Handmaid. The short guy sitting at the throne at the Firelink Shrine. If you talk to him, he might give you Anri's sword. Let's head over and take a look. I know he gives it to you if you save Anri's life instead of going through with this ending. If you do it differently, he gives it to you. So let's see if he does. Ludlith, that's his name. Ludlith. Or Ludlith, whatever, however you want to say it.
Aha, so the eyes up. So what if the eye up? So
Nope. Alright. So you can buy Anor's armor set from the handmaid. If you do New Game Plus, or if you did not let Anor get kidnapped and followed out his quest line the other direction, you can pick up his sword from Ludlith, and it's just a regular straight sword that already has luck scaling built into it. It's not all that, it's, I don't know. It's not that big of a deal. But yeah, that's it for Anor Londo. We got Aldrich, finish that off. I think for the next part of the walkthrough, we'll go and tie up some loose ends. So, because since we beat Aldrich, that's all of the Lords of Cinder at this point, except for one, which opens up the end of Sirius's quest line. So we'll go back, we'll finish out Sirius's quest line, we'll finish out Hawkwood's quest line. There's a few armor sets that are out and about in the world that we need to go collect, as well as a shield and a weapon. So we'll go and type a bunch of loose ends in the next part of the walkthrough. And then we'll head over to Ashes of Ariandel and finish that out. We'll take on the Gravekeeper and get the ashes, the champion's ashes or bones or whatever for PvP. And then we'll kill Frida, and that'll open up the way to the Ring City DLC, and we'll go directly into that from there. We do have a decent amount of the main game left, but let's go in and take care of all the DLC stuff so we can get all of the upgrade materials and get all the new weapons and everything before we finish out the game. That way, if you are following this and you do want to try out using any of the new weapons that we have not got yet, without going into New Game Plus, we'll make that happen. Alright, awesome. Thanks for watching. Thanks for putting up with me rambling a little bit here and there. Definitely appreciate it. Hopefully I helped you out a little bit. Alright. I'll see you next time. Have a fine Dark Soul to you.